Jeremy Clarkson literally lost his temper when he found out about the inheritance tax, which threatens to destroy small farms in Britain. This tax, in his opinion, is not just a financial burden, but a real threat to the very essence of the country's agricultural culture. Tax measures are putting enormous pressure on farmers, who are already facing many challenges, including climate change and unstable markets. In his opinion, the actions of the Labour Party demonstrate a complete disregard for the interests of those who provide the nation with food. This approach, in his opinion, is not just an economic one. It is a social crisis that threatens the future of the entire industry. Instead of protecting its members, the National Farmers Union is being passive, leaving farmers in an alarming position. Clarkson cannot accept that politicians are inactive when it comes to the life and death of small businesses. His voice is a cry for justice and support for those who work in the fields every day. He insists that farmers deserve protection and understanding, not another stab in the back from the government, which should be on their side.
If I have a pig and I butcher it, or slaughter it and butcher it, and turn it into a sausage, that sausage will cost here 74p. If I buy imported pig meat, make it into a sausage, it's 18p.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Something's wrong with our food system in this country. My pig reared on my farm, by the time it gets here, it's got a cost of 74p. An imported sausage, 18p.
So what's your message to the new government? Do you think they get the kind of rural economy at all?
No, I don't think any of them have set foot outside Kentish Town for the last 35 years. No, they're a hopeless bunch.
So would you invite Keir to your pub, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister?
No, he's banned. He's the first person to be banned. He's actually on a board in the hall. He's banned.
Why? What have you got against him?
Hello? I thought you were running a news operation.
Okay.
He hasn't done much to endear himself to me yet. Well, we'll have a look at farming. It all might turn around, you never know.
Jeremy Clarkson raises troubling issues in the field of agriculture. His investigations highlight not only the daily difficulties of farmers, but also systemic problems threatening entire regions. He boldly touches on topics that many would prefer to ignore, and thus draws public attention to pressing issues. His every word is imbued with sincere respect for the work of farmers, the people who provide us with food. By inspiring others, he creates a platform for open dialogue, where the voice of everyone who works on Earth matters. Clarkson raises the bar by making us see the importance of agriculture and its impact on the country's economy in a new way. It is individuals like him who are able to change the course of discussions and bring attention back to the true problems facing farmers.
If the rumblings are true, it looks like British farming is over in Britain. They're on about taking agricultural property relief off land. That will basically devalue land that much. It will make most farming businesses insolvent. It will bankrupt them overnight. My dad's 76, he spent his life paying a mortgage and wants to pass on the business, the farm, the business of growing food for the nation to me. It will be all lost in a tax bill.
I got something for you.
One day, all this will be Rachel Reeves.
Don't.
What, the curtains? Yep, she'll have those as well.
Naturally, the anger of the farmers can be understood. The introduction of an inheritance tax, which will affect not only large agricultural enterprises but also small farming enterprises, endangers the future of a generation of farmers. They must not only take care of their current affairs, but also bear additional financial burdens that can ruin their lives. Farmers have always been the backbone of the country's agriculture, and now they are faced with difficult choices: sell the land they farmed, or close the family business. This creates not only financial instability, but also psychological pressure on those who have worked all their lives for their masters. The problem is compounded by the fact that many farmers do not have enough savings to cope with the new reality. A way out of the crisis is possible only if farmers are heard and if real steps are taken to support their activities.
So the fact of the matter is this: farming
7 days a week for a year on a 1,000-acre farm has generated an income of £144.
Correct. Fortunately, at the moment, we have this subsidy. When that goes...
What are farmers going to do? I mean, honestly, what are they going to do? The ones who don't have Amazon film crews following around and who wants to be a millionaire to top up the income. I mean, what do you do when these subsidies start to go down?
Over the past few weeks, he has been fiercely passionate and determined to support the protest organised by the National Farmers Union, which will take place on the 19th of November in London. Farmers are going to unite like never before, and with a deafening cry demand from the government the immediate abolition of destructive policies that threaten the very future of agriculture. Emotions are running high, and farmers are determined to fight for their rights, ready to give everything to protect their business and their communities.
Well, if you own a farm or land, you have an additional £1 million inheritance tax than anyone else does. So already they have additional land that they can pass on without paying any inheritance tax.
Yep.
And indeed, 73% of farms last year would not pay any inheritance tax at all, even after our changes. And after that next £1 million, there is a 50% discount on inheritance tax compared to what everybody else will pay, and you can pay that inheritance tax over a 10-year period in a way that no one else is able to. So I think we've got the right balance there. We did need to raise taxes to fill the black hole, to put our public finances on a stable footing. We did that yesterday, and people can now be confident that we will be able to live within our means.
But the story of the protest takes an unexpected and shocking turn. Just a few days before the long-awaited protest, the organisation cancels the protest. They announced that due to legal issues, the promotion has been cancelled. For Clarkson, this was the last straw in his patience. In a tweet that quickly went viral, he furiously criticised the situation. There is deep disappointment and bitterness in Clarkson's words. He's not just angry, he's heartbroken that farmers are left on the sidelines, ignored and forgotten. He added, "We wanted to express our protest in a dignified and reasonable way, so I ordered a bus to avoid problems with tractors and agricultural machinery."
Okay, farmers going down to Westminster on the 19th. This is the wee update. So this is available to everybody. Scotland, England, Northern Ireland, Wales. You do not need to be an NFU member. This is all farmers everywhere uniting to go down and rally down at Westminster.
But it doesn't end there. Clarkson, like many farmers, is gripped by furious outrage at the betrayal by the NFU. This organisation, which was supposed to become a fortress, protecting the interests of farmers, left them to their fate at the most critical moment, as if no one needed them. Clarkson's tweet is not just words, it is an angry cry for justice that breaks the silence for farmers, for rural areas, and for the government, which must hear their desperate voices. Attention! Starmer doesn't want you to know the whole truth. He hopes that you will turn a blind eye to this and remain in the dark, as if it does not concern you. But we can't stay away anymore. We cannot remain silent when the future of our farmers is at stake.
I think Starmer's one of the worst prime ministers we've ever had, and he's only been with us 81 days. But look what he's done in those 81 days. He's allowed the Chancellor to go ahead with a scheme where 4,000 pensioners could freeze to death this winter, and those are Labour figures, by the way, not Tory figures, OK. He's introduced a raft of policies like energy, which could make us dependent on overseas energy.
Starmer's leadership is currently under threat, and his actions against the farming community may be the last blow that will deprive rural Britain of the opportunity to choose a workforce. But this is not the end of the matter. The consequences of these changes in inheritance tax, if the government continues to insist on the introduction of this tax, it could lead to a catastrophe for national food security, which is already under threat. The consequences of these changes in inheritance tax are a problem not only for farmers, but also for every British citizen. With Jeremy Clarkson now leading the campaign against Starmer and Labour's policies, the backlash will only intensify. What do you think about this video? Please write your opinion in the comments. See you soon.